Tattoos are increasingly popular, with more than a third of U.S. adults ages 18 to 40 having at least one. But body ink can actually have some deadly risks, especially if you're planning on heading to the beach. To break all this down for us is Dr. Michael Kim. He's here this morning to tell us what you need to look out for before getting into the Gulf. Dr. Kim, there's been some interesting stories as of recently, especially pertaining to this.
Yeah, you know, several of my patients asked me about this story, so I actually wasn't aware of it, so I researched it, and basically a 30-some-odd-year-old gentleman who had some chronic liver disease had a tattoo, and despite recommendations went in swimming in the Gulf in Texas, and within a couple of days developed a severe infection of his leg.
Oh my gosh.
The short story is basically was on a respirator, very ill, got better, and then turned around and died.
Oh my goodness, which is everybody's nightmare. I mean, but how many people have tattoos? So many, and you think you could have a tiny one, you could have a gigantic, something all over you. And is the risk the same for all those people?
So the bacteria is called Vibrio vulnificus,
Yeah.
which Vibrio means to shake and vulnificus means to cause a wound. So it's a relatively rare disease, and it's called by the little bacteria that kind of look like the same family as cholera. So 95% of the time what happens is people ingest oysters from the Gulf and they get sick, they get diarrhea, they get stomach aches, etc. But a small percentage of patients, usually if they're immunocompromised, such as liver disease, or they've recently had chemotherapy, and they ingest it, or they go swimming in the Gulf, they get a wound from this bacteria, and what happens is it basically kills you.
Oh my goodness. So it happens more quickly, I think, than a lot of people would realize. You said this one gentleman, he got better, but then it turned around on him.
Yes, but it's important to know, I don't want to strike fear in everybody.
Right,
Most healthy people get this, just get a little bit ill and are fine.
Okay.
It's a small percentage of patients, usually people who are already ill from liver disease or immunocompromised states. Let's say you just finish up chemotherapy from cancer and you go swimming in the Gulf and you have a cut. Those are warning signs that you should not go into the Gulf with a fresh wound. In general, most people who have a fresh wound should stay out of the Gulf water anywhere because a lot of bacteria, not only Vibrio, but other types can cause serious infections.
Okay, and if you find yourself, God forbid, in this situation, is there anything that can be done? Are there any antibiotics, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so if treated early, the most important thing is recognition. So I think I talked to a lot of my friends who work in the ER, and so this is probably an underreported disease. A lot of them come in the ER treated and you never heard about it. So if you have any redness, infection around the leg after recent trauma, cuts, open wounds, etc., there's no question if you're in the Gulf and you have a problem, just go right away to your doctor, because if treated early, the antibiotics treat it very well. But if left untreated, it can seriously cause amputation or death.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so very important to stay on top of this, Dr. Kim. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We'll put all this information up for you at winknews.com, and we'll be back with a check of the weather, traffic, and this morning's top stories. You're watching Wink News This Morning here on WXCW.